Oh man, is it December already? Checks the time. Yup. Rooster here, obviously. It is Monday, just past 4:30 p.m. That means I am racing the sun home and welcoming you to the internationally known, critically acclaimed, at least 7.5% Diddy free as of this morning. So this is My Life Now podcast. Wecklum, happy Monday. Happy December, dude. What? God, November sped out of here like four holes in a Nissan. Holy shit. There you go. More than 30 seconds in before I start swearing. Outstanding. Headed home. Whatever light you see on me is clearly an illusion because I am headed toward where the sun is setting. That's a thing. You don't know. How was y'all's Thanksgiving? Slide up in the comments. Let me know, man. Completely ignore my bullet wind chime that my wife got me. If it's making too much noise, it's your own damn problem. Going home. Had a good Thanksgiving. No complaints. Mammy flew in. Hashtag, as I'm making the turn, hashtag Mammy Gang in the comments. Let's get that going. First thing, boys. Less than 2 minutes in. Let's get that going. We had a good Thanksgiving. I spatchcocked the hell out of a chicken. We had some deviled eggs, Mammy style, with pickles and all that good stuff. And some beans, baked beans, because America. Oh, let me fix my behind in this seat. Is my camera centered? Overall, not a bad weekend. Had 4 days off because I had the Smart. I think I mentioned it in the last promo. I had the Smart, and when they released the floating holiday, remember Columbus Day? It used to be Columbus Day. Now we just use it as a floating holiday after September. As soon as they released that company-wide email that we can use our floating holiday after September but before January, no problem. Black Friday, off. And I was already scheduled off this Saturday anyway, this past Saturday. So Big Daddy, who just went on vacation, got 4-day weekend. I'll take it. We got, I think, 3 weeks and some change until we get off for Christmas, which is cool. End of the year type stuff, you know what I mean? So headed home. No complaints, really. My first Farm Sim 25 video is out. And let me explain something about this Farm Sim video, okay? I got 3.5 hours of recorded footage that the world is never going to see. I'm pretty sure I already deleted it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll double check when I get home. Reason being, I took the starter map, Riverbend Creek, the Murica map, and completely paved it over. Like I'm from the city. I'm from Queens, okay? I don't know about grass. I don't even know why I like Farm Sim so much, but I really do. Paved over everything, sold all the houses, all the gear, and all that stuff that was on there, made it as flat as I could to make it more my own. Started up for myself. Glad I'm not going that way. Started up for myself, get my own equipment, put everything where I want it. Now, right when I was going to start cutting that video together, a modder came out with a mod. That same map, exactly the way I had it. Except they used, I guess, like different tools to smooth everything out and flatten everything, and they squared off some of the, the more round fields and all that stuff. I was like, this is exactly the way I would want it. So, I ended up scrapping the first 3.5 hours. Mind you, at that time, I had 35.5 hours in. No farming got done. It was all prep work, okay? Just to delete it. So I started over. On this modded map that was, I want to say it was my idea, but clearly I don't know who this person is, so they couldn't have stolen it from me. So I started on that. It's exactly the same map, just modded, like I said. Everything is paved over the way I wanted it. The fields are more rounded off, and I do have some other quality of life mods. You have to watch the Farm Sim video to see it. It's the Freedom Farm, as it friggin' should be. The Freedom Farm. El Freedom Farm. Guys, this is not the turning lane, but hey, since y'all are in here, I'm gonna get up here with you. So I had a ton of fun, and then another 3.5 hours of recording on Saturday. But now, like, I knew what I didn't like. I remembered what I didn't like from the initial. When I say 3.5 hours, I mean it was 3 separate videos that added up to 3.5 hours. I knew what I didn't like I knew I wanted to cut out, so I did that. Like, I acted accordingly, and I got the right equipment for myself that I didn't have before. So I think it came out better. Out of 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours really, I got a good 40-ish minutes of actual useful content. So that dropped today at noon. I'm actually going to go home and watch it because I'm a mark for myself. I like watching my own stuff. I'm all right with that. You should be too. Yesterday, Sunday, I'm not sure I want to give it away, but I'm gonna. Next week's So This Is My Life Now podcast will be a bit different of a format because I sat down with Tink yesterday. Y'all know Tink. If you don't, you friggin' should. You don't look at me, lady. Auntie Tinkerbell, one of my favorite people on earth. We're practically family, even though she's exactly half my size and Irish. We sat down for a proper podcast style. It's something new that she's getting into, and I'm on board with her with it. I don't know why she chose me, because I'm special. We sat down, I wanted about 90 minutes, and we were just gabbing. She has topics, and I tend to go off on tangents, and she'll bring me right back. You said this, let's talk about this, and X, Y, and Z. And then, there's no definitive end, but then Discord shit the bed. So there's that. We both had to stop recording, and we set up a tentative date for this coming Sunday. Maybe half hour, 40-ish minutes to do a proper send-off to it. Lucky for me, I have the same shirt, two of the same shirt that I was wearing. It says, "Tell your cat I said pss, pss, pss." You probably see me wear it in one of my gun videos or something. I had a good time. Beefy's going to be on there too. Probably after me. I don't know. That's between her and Tink. That's got nothing to do with me. But essentially, life after Mixer. What have you been doing the last, four plus years? And little things in between. Like I said, when she and I get together, we go off on tangents, but it's her show, and she knows, all right, let me reel this motherfucker in. And I think it went well. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, Discord shat the bed. That's past tense of shit. Shat the bed. And we couldn't finish in grand style, so we have a tentative date for this coming Sunday to finish. And I want to say, I have it planned out in my head. I'll record an intro and an outro in the car like this on that Monday, on the work day. You know what I mean? And then just drop that video right in the middle. It'll be the same format as this. No edits. I'm not cutting anything out. Nothing. Dick. What is happening here? Friggin' nobody's moving. For what? Why? No answer? Alright, good. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. There's nobody in this lane. Why is everybody in that lane? Anyway. I'm headed home. Did I mention? It's rush hour and nobody's friggin' rushing. So I had a ton of fun with it. We always have fun. The last time she and I collaborated on something that I actually have the pictures for. Thanks, Mez. Shout out to Mez. Was on my birthday. I want to say 2018. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 2017. I dressed as her. She dressed as me. But she surprised me when she was going to dress as me. And I laughed like an idiot for 45 seconds. I couldn't breathe. That's how much I was laughing. But Mez has the pictures. He sent them to me. So in post, future me will put them up somewhere. You probably saw the other one of me with the Tink shirt and the fake boobies. How could they tell they were fake? That's so weird. The red wig and all that stuff. And she was dressed as me, properly like me. So I'm going to post that up. I'll actually post it up in the video she and I did together too. So I had a ton of fun with that, man. I'm really liking the content that I'm creating. And I've said before, I'll say again, even if nobody watched, I'd still do it. Because I'm having fun with it. And I feel like that's the whole point. You know what I mean? I can express myself creatively. I get just ideas out of my head. I made a clips compilation video for Beefy yesterday. I took a bunch of her clips that I clipped from her streams and just put them together. I got a good 10 minutes out of it. A proper intro. Not a half-ass outro, but I didn't know how to end it because I know what I like and I know what I would do for me, but I don't know what she wanted, and she's terrible at giving instruction. So I just did my thing. I put it in a Google Drive. I'm pretty sure I didn't tell her that it was there, so yeah, I'll probably tell her when I get home. Wednesday before Thanksgiving holiday, I had a chat with Tom, my boss's boss. He's top of the food chain for the warehouse, and I asked a couple years ago, actually, a couple supervisors ago, actually, I asked for rapid and direct feedback in the moment, either the day of or the day after, right? And I asked for that Because what the shit is going on with this truck? This man is lifted on one side, like he has two fat tires on the driver's side, and it's leaning like that, and two regular. I mean, it's a Dodge. What am I gonna say? What was I saying? Yes, feedback. Um, because I knew years ago that I didn't want to. Like, I don't have a problem with manual labor. Manual labor has been good to me my whole working life. It's providing for me and my family. But I'm getting old, boys. Okay, I can't do it the way I used to. I don't want to do it that way anymore. I'm friggin' tired. And I feel like I have a lifetime of experience that I can share with the younger dudes that want to be on the come up. You know what I mean? Guys, is a train coming or not? What the shit? All this light that you see is behind me. I'm going toward sundown. So they've known that, and they've been, training me and pushing me in the right direction, not leading me astray, and I appreciate that. But one of the things I asked for, because we've had this happen, myself and dudes that don't work there anymore, and Israel, who's now my supervisor, and Mondo, who's like my right hand. It's happened before that complaints come in, and like the person, like let's take myself. I'll use myself. I don't hear about it until weeks later or even months later. And I chalk that up to lack of not that they don't care, but like I know what I look like, and I know I can be rough and I can be harsh. But my previous ops supervisor was not the dude. He just wasn't. Okay? All due respect to him, he was not the dude. They shouldn't have put him in there, and like I know when somebody's nervous when they're talking to me. Okay, but if you're my boss, fucking act like it. And Israel does, but he and I, like, we came up together, So it would happen a lot, and like you would come to me with notes that you have written down that whoever had the complaint came to you with on the day they felt a certain way, or they felt I said something too harshly or whatever. But then you're gonna come to me weeks or even again months later and start our meeting with, "Do you remember?" No, the answer is always going to be no. Okay? In my defense, boys, I've done a lot of drugs in my life. Okay? But you can't come to me weeks and months later with what you have is a dedicated written account that you got in that moment. You can't come to me months later and ask me if I remember a couple of words that I said to this person at this time on this. That's not going to happen. I don't have a dog in that fight. There's nothing I can say to defend myself. If you're telling me that you have it written down on the day of, then I have to go with you. I have to say that you're right. And I don't like that shit. I don't. So, some feedback that I gave years ago, if you hear some shit about me and you feel as my supervisor you need to talk to me about it, do it immediately. Do it now. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. Don't let Friday come and I don't know about it, because I, again, won't have a dog in the fight. I won't have anything to say. And then I won't know that there was an issue. I won't know how to move forward and resolve it with whoever or whatever happened. I can't do anything, right? And I've never been written up. So if people are coming to you about their feelings getting hurt, I need to know about that right now. I'm a rough dude. I'm an aggressive dude. I know that. They know that. They know that I know that because I've let them know that I know that. Does that make sense? And I'm working on it. Okay? And they trust me enough to come to me for just about everything. Like, I'm not in the position, but I do the job. Okay? Let's put it like that. The only time they promote is in March, and I've mentioned this before. This past March this year, I didn't have a bad review, but I didn't get the promotion that I was thinking I was going to get, and for very good reason. Raise your hand in the comments. That's a lowercase o and a backslash like that. Raise your hand in the comments if you've ever been called in the office, not for anything bad, but you've heard it, or even on a review, you've heard interpersonal connections. If you've heard that, raise your hand in the comments, okay? I have gone as far as I can go in my current position. If they did not promote me in March, they would have to give me top pay. Period. But they know that I want to move up. I want to continue furthering myself here, You know what I mean? I don't plan on leaving. The work is hard. The hours are long, but I have no complaints about my job. They've been very good to me. They've been very good to my family. When I needed time off, like immediately, no questions asked, they would tell me, let me know how much time you need. So number one, they can plan accordingly. And last time my wife was in the hospital, Israel texted me. He's like, how are you? Me, how am I? And then he asked me how my wife was. Because he's married, he's got kids, he knows what it is to be, the provider, protector, defender. He knows what that is. And it's just one of those things. So, all that to say this. Had a meeting with Tom on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. He calls me in the office and he says, I'm doing this with all the guys, this feedback. And they already blame me for whenever they get this immediate and like well thought out and structured feedback. And they know it's because of me. I'm like, listen, would you want to know sooner rather than later or what? You're welcome, okay? And how you respond to that feedback is an indication of, number one, the type of person you are, and number two, how you're going to handle it, I think. So I've always been open to their feedback, and I let them know that. So he sits me down. He's like, I'm going to do this with all the boys, but I'm going to start with you because in terms of where you are, you're not there. Like, you don't have the title, but like he couldn't say that I'm above them because I'm not. On paper, we're still equal. On paper, that's red lights and that's the brake lights in front of me. It's not the devil. It's not Bobby Boucher. So I'm like, no, I get it. And Tom and I both weren't going to be there on Friday. So if you're going to do this meeting with everybody, you might as well start with the dude that's not going to be here for the next 4 days. And he's like, just so you know, this isn't Tom saying this, and this. Like, this is feedback, and I want you to take it a certain way. Like, no, just cut the bullshit, Tom. I know, I got it. I got it. Like, I asked for this. I can't get mad at you for something that I asked for. I can't. And he laughed because he knows that, again, anyone that's been in a leadership position or is trying to get into a leadership position, and I know, different people respond differently to feedback. Some people see it as criticism, but this is work. I'm asking for feedback. I want to know how I can get better. Right? Makes sense. Makes sense to me. So he says, if I was asked if I was going to promote Rooster today, right now, I'm sorry, the answer would be no. I said, okay, why not? Tell me why. Straight up. Like, I don't feel any way about it. You're coming to me because you know what I want. You know where I want to go. And right this second, as of Wednesday, I wasn't there yet. Right? You know that. You're where you are. I'm talking about Tom and Israel. You know you're where you are because you know more than me. I need that. I need you to come to me. I need you to fulfill these gaps in my skill set. Whatever I don't have that I should have, or whatever I'm not doing that I should be doing, or doing that I shouldn't be doing, let me know. I'm asking you. And they appreciate that. They both breathe like big sighs of relief when I come across as that, because again, I know what I look like. I know how I come off, and all of that. They say I'm very New York when it comes to my attitude. I was like, yeah, I don't know anything else. I'm not qualified to be any else. So, he's like, no, and again, interpersonal. How I treat the guys, how I talk to the guys. I'm like, okay, no problem. And we had an instance, like 20 minutes before he called me in the office, a lot of customers came in at the same time, and I had two guys in a bay next to mine, and all the material was allocated over there, so we started sending them over there, and one too many came in that were going over there, so I called Chris, is his name. I was like, Chris, send that guy to me. Pull whatever material it is and put it on I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? Because I know he gets what's the word? Like, intimidated by all the everything that's going on at the same time. It can be a lot. I know that. But I have the experience. So for me, I'll just tell him, like, hey man, send it over here to me. I'll take that off your plate. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, y'all see the same construction light that I see. I'm not letting you in. You can fuck yourself. You have my permission and my blessing to go have intercourse with yourself, little blue Honda. Okay? What was I saying? They're doing construction. So I can't get upset at that kind of thing, right? So I'm like, all right, tell me why. And it's interpersonal. When it comes to doing the job, I got it. I can do the job. That's not the problem. So I called on this kid, and he's a kid. He's fucking 23. Pull this stuff and send it to me. I'll take at least 2 of them off your hands, right? And now we're starting not a new way. It's the way we were supposed to have been doing our paperwork, but it never really got like there was no like seal on it. Like there was no hard fast rule. It was more of a guideline. Now it's a fucking rule. So put the 2 new guys together. One will load, one will do the paperwork. Let them figure it out that way. I'm old school. I got it, right? Right away, Israel calls over the radio. Rooster, I think we can take him in Bay 3. There's space. Okay. All right. He's my boss. I can't say anything else. Now, I'm treating this guy like a human being, not like somebody's just going to keep doing the job, because the customers they're going to fucking stay there, dude. You know it and I know it. So I did as he asked, and then, Tom called me in. So he brought that up. He's like, how did you feel when Israel called back over the radio and he didn't say undercut, but that's kind of what he meant. Like you gave an instruction to Christopher and Israel chimed in and completely changed it. I was like, well, here's the reason I made the decision that I made. And exactly the same thing. The kid was getting overwhelmed. That's the word I was looking for. He was getting overwhelmed. It was a lot going on at the same time, so I wanted to take it off him so that he wouldn't feel pressured and he would know that I will back him up. And they already know that. Like, they know I'm about the job. If you need me, call me. I'm there. That's not even the point. So he's like, okay, I see that. I see that. Then he asked me how I felt about Israel changing the call I made. I said, I don't understand what you mean. He's my supervisor. I'm not supposed to feel anything about it. He makes the call. I abide. I'm obligated to abide. And he's like, no, I didn't see it the way you saw it. But now that you explained to me why you were going to take that from Chris, I would have done the same thing. I was like, well, since you ask, and Israel's had struggles with this, and I'm struggling with it now, to let the guys do the work. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he doesn't trust me. He absolutely trusts me. But to give up command is a hard thing to do when he worked really hard to get that type of command in the first place, but now he's above me. I'm like, brother, you have more to worry about than these cranes and these guys. Let me do that. That's what I'm training for. So anyway, he was like, have you said any of this to Israel? Because now they gave me my own Saturday. I'm essentially Israel on my Saturday. Cool, but now Israel comes to work every Saturday. I'm like, bro, make up your mind. You want me to do it or don't you? Do I quarterback this team or don't I? So he asked me, did I mention any of this to Israel? I was like, Tom, we've been busy. For this time of year? God, you see how dark it is? What the shit? For this time of year, we've been busier than we have any real business to be. I don't know why, but whatever. I'll take it. All right, I'll take the hours. He's like, all right, well, you have to make time. I understand that we're busy. This is what he's saying to me. I understand that we're busy, but just like anything else in life, you have to make time. It's not always going to be there. I'm like, okay, you're the boss. You are my boss. So no problem. I'm leaving on Wednesday. I always check in with Israel before I leave. I'm like, all right, have a good holiday. I'll see you Monday. We're going to have a talk, you and I. He was like, what? Okay. Yeah, nothing bad, obviously, but everybody gets nervous, right? Went in today, and the feedback that I gave Tom, that he suggested I should give to Israel, and this is what I genuinely feel about it. Let me do the work, okay? Don't undercut me. If and you've told me, the both of them, Tom and Israel, have told me that like these guys look at you like you're a lead, like you're in the position. They treat you that way. I says, yeah, but not 100% of the time. When other people, meaning the 2 of them, will circumvent any decision or any choice that I made, and the choices I make are in their best interest, not even mine. So he's like, okay, I see that, right? So I'm talking to Israel today, and like with him, and I totally get it. To be in the position that he's in, you have to have concrete facts. Like you can't just say, hey, I want you to let me do the job and leave me alone to do it. You have to tell him why. You have to let him know why it's in his best interest to let me do it. So I was like, here's what we're going to do. let it come from me. Like, you have the instruction. We always have a meeting every morning, and then he'll split up the teams and give the instruction as to who's doing what. But then you want me to be a certain way, and this feedback that I'm getting is that I'm not doing that. This is why. So respectfully, I said, I need you to let me do the job. We're slower now. We're a little busy, but we're slower now. I need you to let me do the job. Let the guys see for themselves that I'm here for them. I'm not here for me. He's like, yeah, we could try that. Like, he's all on board. On the 20th, he's going on vacation, and he's not coming back till 2 weeks, till next year, realistically. The guys are going to come to me anyway, right? So what we're going to do is, I'll go to the boys. Like, for now, I want to say for this week, and just start with, Israel wants us to do A, B, and C. Like, all right, they're hearing from me that it's coming from him. Cool. And then we're going to slowly phase that out. By the time he goes on vacation, the instruction is going to come from me. Like, even if it comes from Israel, they won't know that. It's coming directly from me without me prefacing it as Israel says. It's coming from me. And they already do that. Like, I already know how to talk to each guy individually and feelings and all that stuff. I get it. So they're going to let me do that because March is coming. And I told them, I said, listen, up until now, you have given me everything I ever asked for in terms of this training and what I want to do. And I feel inside that you and Tom want me to do well. He's like, yeah, that's why we put all this time into you, because nobody's coming close to you. Bet your ass. Nobody's coming close to my stuff. Okay. So I said, okay, Tom asked me, and I know you know already, because he already knew I was in that meeting, what I needed from you two. And I said, this is what I need. Let me do it. Don't present it as, like, let's not have a meeting like, all right, Rooster's going to do X, Y, and Z, because it hasn't had to come to that. Let it happen. Let me do the job. If anything catastrophic is going to happen, I know they're going to stop me. He's like, yeah. He's on board. He is on board. He wants me to do well because he has his own stuff to do. And if he's stuck doing stuff that I could be doing, because I don't have a title, it holds him back. And I understand that. And I don't need to be held back realistically by anyone else's ego or bravado. I'm like, oh, this is mine and I'm not going to share it with you, because he's not like that anymore. He used to be, but he's not like that anymore because he's seen what that gets you. He was held back for years. He held himself back, I should say, for years and years from even getting the position that I'm looking to get because of that attitude. And he let it go a lot. But now I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose. It's just part of his personality to control, to be in control, to dictate everything to get a certain result. And I understand that. But now it's my turn. You know what I mean? So coming weeks are going to be cool. I'm like, listen, I want this to work. You want this to work. In March, we're going to have a different conversation. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to just pay me top pay to continue doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. So I'm home now, obviously. The sun wins. It's getting dark. I don't want it to get darker in here. Thanks for listening. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Please be kind, rewind. Don't feed the gorillas. All the other good stuff. I appreciate the support and the views and the interaction and all that good stuff. If you have any ideas for any of this stuff that I'm talking about to be spoken about, let me know. Slide up in the comments. Until the next one, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Rooster in the dark with this bright green ass shirt on says see you.